Hello, everyone. I am Matthew Lambert. It's very nice to meet you all. I'm excited to take this class. Of course, this is EDL 851, Supervision and Evaluation of School Personnel, and Module 1, Building Professional Capacity Through Personal Introductions. So, I will continue on. Again, about me professionally. My professional experience. I am a third and fourth grade special education teacher at Woodward, Oklahoma Public Schools. I previously taught fifth grade for Oklahoma City Public Schools, and I taught high school business and computers in Sublette, Kansas. I am certified in business, ESOL, elementary education, and mild moderate disabilities. I was an ESL instructor through an online forum to children residing in China through VIP Kid, which I will touch on the next slide, actually, when I tell you a little bit about my personal life. And I did complete the transition to teach program through Fort Hays State University, and at the same time obtain my master's degree in education. So I'm very excited to be obtaining my administration endorsement in order to become a principal. My work environment, of course, I work at Highland Park Elementary for Woodward Public School District. We services grades 1st through 4th. This is my first year teaching 3rd and 4th special education. At first, I was very kind of reluctant to do it. I was hired as a 3rd grade classroom teacher, and then after I was hired, I was called and said, "Would you want to teach special ed?" So I did take the test, passed it. But now I can't imagine even going into a regular classroom again because it is wonderful. I provide both pull-out and push-in services. I work in a positive work environment, work at a wonderful school. My principal is very hands-on, always know where I stand, and she is actually the reason that I decided to continue and get my administration endorsement so I can kind of follow her lead. About me personally, I have a husband, I say of 21 years. We've been together 21 years, married for 11. I adopted 2 children, Logan at the age of 11, he's now 25, and Kelston when he was 2 days old, and he's now 10. Kelston is great. He attends my same school. He's a 4th grader, so that's a great interaction to see him every day. My son Logan, he lives in Seattle, Washington. These are the pictures that you see on the screen. We just returned from a Christmas trip to Hawaii. So those are the pictures. Talking about teaching ESL through VIP Kid, we were full-time RVers. After teaching in Sublette, Kansas high school business, we decided to sell everything we had. We had a fifth wheel and a big dually truck and decided to take a year and tour the United States. COVID hit and we didn't have any place to stay after that. So we moved back to my in-laws who have some land in Woodward, Oklahoma. So we built a homestead. So that brings us to where we are today. So let's continue synthesizing the articles. Article 1, teacher supervision and evaluation. The biggest point that I took from this, that the teacher evaluation systems are lacking. When I taught in Sublette, had a great principal, but at one point he gave me my evaluation. He said, "You know what, you go ahead and fill it out. I don't have enough time to do your evaluation." So this was something that stuck out to me, especially in this article, that they are lacking. Participation in workshops versus ongoing professional development. Peer observation and coaching. What do we get the most out of? I think it's the coaching. Lesson study. Let's talk about, having them study these lessons. Ongoing learning opportunities. Let's make sure as an administrator that your teachers have those learning opportunities that are always ongoing. The quote that stood out to me that was the most important was, states should create systems that recognize improved teaching as the collective responsibility of principals, assistant principals, teacher leaders, teachers, personnel, utilizing subject area, grade level specialists where available to enrich the appraisals and more effectively guide subsequent professional development. What I took from this is the word collaboration. When we collaborate with each other, when we have that collaboration on a high level, we will in turn be very successful. Article 2, 10 steps towards school staff well-being. The well-being of staff should be the most important, of course. We all realize that, especially, we see it on the news. State of Kansas, state of Oklahoma, the COVID requirements. Are we going virtual? Are we getting subs? Everything to that effect. Woodward now has gone virtual tomorrow. We'll probably be virtual all next week. But are we considering the well-being of staff? Are we encouraged to talk about those challenging situations? Do we feel appreciated? Do our staff know each other well enough? Are we doing those programs to, let's all do a staff yoga. Let's all do a staff party. Those are things that are essentially important to have well-being for staff and make sure that everybody feels that they're important and part of the organization. Article 3. Article 3 focused on a comparison of face-to-face and online training. What's more important? Well, it told us that high levels of job demands and strain, low levels of job control or decision latitude, and poor relationships and support have been found to be associated with poor productivity for employees and increase the risk of those mental health problems. The findings found that either face-to-face or online modes of delivery, it was kind of the same outcome. But what we need to be concerned about most is those improvements in mental health, making sure the staff feel important, and making sure that they are heard. Article 4. This talked about the recruitment, retention, and development of quality teachers in hard-to-staff schools. Woodward, Oklahoma is a hard-to-staff school. Many people don't want to move here. So are we making, bullet point 1, those university partnerships? Are we saying, you know what, come in, let's do some job shadowing. Let's do an early contract signing and make that a celebration for them. Are we investing in those new employees? Are we offering the correct professional development and the right professional development to make them successful? Finally, when they come on board, are we having those weekly debriefings? What do you need? What can we support you? Are we preparing them for the test, the state test? This is what you need. This is what you need to do. Let me help you in doing that. Money. Are we offering those bonuses? Or are we offering, you know what? Tell me what you need for your classroom. Let me as an administrator find those ways for you to get that. That's essentially important. And then, of course, insist on involvement. Make sure your new teachers are involved with the other teachers. Make sure you have those programs to foster that involvement and foster that collaboration. And then finally, let's concentrate on those opportunities for growth, of how they can grow and how we can support them in that growth. Article 5, this talked about the focus on teacher well-being to improve retention. So important. Transparency across departments and levels shows honesty, openness, which in turn builds trust, and that needs to be at the core of any school for teachers to feel happy. Wow, this quote stood out. We need to be honest. We need to be open. We need to build that trust for everybody to be happy, and we can do that by leading by example, living by the new practices you put in place, or your staff won't be willing to solve the crisis. So if you initiate a change, live by that change, get that buy-in from your staff. Finally, we talk about improvement. So how does this all relate to improvement? This assignment helped me realize that there's always room for improvement as a future administrator, and I must strive to improve and explore relationship between my staff, my students, and the parents of the community I'm involved with. Being cognizant of all stakeholders that contribute to the district will only benefit me as a successful administrator. And finally, seeking advice and that criticism will help me shape and build a better school. Retention. How do I retain teachers? Retaining teachers, it's the basis of a successful school system. I now realize that I must make each teacher and staff member feel valued. Retaining teachers, it not only benefits the school, but it benefits the students. By retaining them, cross-curriculum will be established. This will in turn enhance the learning experience for each and every child, and the students will feel that they're most important. When they see those familiar faces, and they already will understand those expectations. Learning. Learning is the basis of a good educational system. By initiating systems in which teachers can participate in professional development, different types of learning, they will have a higher level of success for their students. As an administrator, I should be willing to participate in learning and development. That way I can lead my staff in a positive way. And by being an example of continuous learning, letting them know that I am learning as well, I can persuade my staff to take part in those learning opportunities. Finally, the well-being. This assignment proved crucial in helping me understand that I need to be concerned about the well-being of others, especially my staff and students. Teachers will only be successful when they feel supported and they feel heard. And I think that students share those same sentiments. So as a future administrator, I'll have an open door policy, develop a sense of understanding in which my staff can feel supported. How did this correlate to the standard? This assignment directly correlated to the standard of developing engaging staff in a collaborative professional culture designed to motivate school improvement, retention, and success of each student. I was able to research numerous articles. I was able to correlate those articles to gain an understanding of the numerous ways in which to promote the well-being of staff and students. Relevance. This assignment is extremely relevant as my future job as an administrator. I have to be cognizant and aware of every employee and every student to make sure that they're in a good place and they can be successful. It's important to have open communication so they feel that they are all supported and can share their feelings in order to make them be ultimately successful in their endeavors. As I reflect, this assignment helped me understand what I would do differently as a future administrator. I think it's extremely important to have an open door policy. Make sure all employees understand that they will be heard and that they are valued. We see it every day. Teaching is a hard career, and the teachers that I'll be supervising need to be valued as professionals and especially as people. Again, by being open, transparent, and honest, a successful school will happen. Finally, I would like to leave you with my references that I utilized in this presentation. I hope you all enjoyed listening to my presentation. I look forward to learning from each and every one of you and look forward to what I will learn to be a successful administrator. Thank you.